Hi guys, this is UFT TV coming to you from Queen's Park. My name is Debbie and today is the 2nd of October 2011. Today we're going to bring you a movie review. We're going to be giving you some cooking instructions for French toast. We're going to give you all the news you could possibly want to know from around the UFT campus. And lastly, we'll be doing question of the week. So stick around. Okay, well, the weather seems to be letting up ever so slightly, which is a good thing because my umbrella has definitely seen better days. I'm going to sit here instead and enjoy my coffee and nurse my hangover from Nuit Blanche last night, which I think you guys probably are going to be doing too. So if you're looking for something to do this evening which won't turn your stomach, I'd say Horrible Bosses could be a good movie option. And we've got Tom right now to give you all the details on that.
Horrible Bosses chronicles the misadventures of three friends as they attempt to plot and carry out the murder of their three evil bosses. The movie is the definition of star-studded. Jennifer Aniston, Kevin Spacey, and Colin Farrell take on the roles of the bosses, while Jamie Foxx appears in the film as a hitman. There are even cameos from legendary actors Donald Sutherland and Bob Newhart, but the film really hinges on the performances of the three leads, played by Jason Bateman, Charlie Day, and Jason Sudeikis. They are excellent. We don't get to see too much that's new from the leads, but we do get to see them doing what they do best. Jason Bateman finds himself once again in the role of the most level-headed character surrounded by kooks, much like he was in Arrested Development. Jason Sudeikis spends the film comfortably in the role of a sort of lovable douchebag that we've seen him perfect in his tenure on Saturday Night Live. Charlie Day gives by far the most outstanding performance of the film, even if it is almost entirely the same shtick that we get to see him do on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The writing is sophisticated, and with the level of talent delivering it, even the most outlandish aspects work. From Colin Farrell's coke-fueled office orgies to Jennifer Aniston's incredibly explicit harassment of Charlie Day. This is thanks to a solid foundation provided by the three leads, who are instantly recognizable as your own best buds from high school. The writers and Charlie Day even managed to string a single accidental cocaine use gag across two scenes and keep it funny for a solid 15 minutes of the film. If you're the type who sees too many movies and expects just another formula buddy comedy, Horrible Bosses has a few surprises for you. It's also safe to say that none of the characters experience any real development or change through the film. They start as friends and they end as friends, and they don't really learn anything about themselves. This gives the movie a feeling akin to an hour-and-a-half long TV show, which makes sense considering director Seth Gordon's previous work with The Office, Parks and Recreation, and Community. That said, even if it does feel like a TV show, it's a damn good TV show. The only complaint I have about the film is Kevin Spacey's attempt at being a threatening presence. He's just too doughy and likable for me to feel any real sense of evil from him, even if the character he plays is clearly an asshole. That, and its description as a black comedy. Despite the fact that it is about people trying to kill other people, most of the humor doesn't really come from death or any other especially cynical topics. It comes from the characters' relationships, foibles, and willingness to shove toothbrushes up their own assholes. And before I leave the negative aspects of the film, I have to mention the growth that we can only assume is a beard because of its location on Jamie Foxx's face. Overall, director Seth Gordon and company have created an excellent film. You get to sit back and watch lovable idiots try to kill hateable assholes. It's funny, well written, Horrible Bosses is hilariously good.
Thank you very much, Tom. So if you guys are looking for something to eat, to enjoy while you're watching your film, do not do an omelette. Do not do bacon. What you want is French toast. And here's Michelle to show you exactly how to do it.
Hi there and welcome to The Light Bite. I'm your host, Michelle Doyle. Today's episode, we're focusing on breakfast. And before we begin, what we're going to need is eggs, milk, and cinnamon. For every 4 slices of toast, you should use about 1 egg. You crack it gently and pour it into the bowl. Now that we have our egg in the bowl, what we're going to do is we're going to lightly season it. Just a little bit of salt and just a little bit of pepper. So then what we do is we whisk it. You can also use fork. So once you have about a pretty evenly balanced egg, you add as much milk as you want, but for now, I believe we will add 3 tablespoons of milk, should do the trick. So once you've added your milk, the next thing you want to do before you mix it is add some cinnamon. I'd say about 1 or 2 shakes should do the trick. You just want to give it a nice light cinnamon flavor. So once it's come to about an even texture, I put a lot of cinnamon in mine. Now you're ready for the bread. But before we do bread, we're going to cut some fruit for on top. So we're just going to cut strawberries. So normally I'd say for the bigger strawberries about 6 slices. So for the banana, what you want to do is sometimes you might want a little bit of a thicker slice, but I'd keep it to an even 1 centimeter all around. Now that we're done our fruit, we can move on to our bread. But since we don't want to get our bread soggy, we have to heat up the stove first. For the frying pan, you don't need to put on any oil because the egg will cook as long as the frying pan is hot. Now that our frying pan is nice and hot, we can finally mix in the bread. What you want to do is you want to dip your bread in the bowl, mix it around, flip it over until the bread is completely immersed in, and you put it just once you feel that it's cooked, you place it on your plate. So now you have your French toast, and it's only a matter of adding the final touches to make this dish complete. And what you can do, is what I like to do, is put a little bit of strawberries in one corner, a little bit of bananas in the other, then reverse, and voila! Now this is the basic French toast. If you want to add a little spice to it, like if you're serving it for somebody else, or if you have a really good sweet tooth, then you want to add some icing sugar. So the only thing with icing sugar is you want to try to have it so that it can sift on top of your food, because otherwise you might have it with clumps. So this little machine sifts it very nicely. And all you really do is you just pour it just a little bit over your French toast. And voila! French toast.
Awesome. So, Michelle has sorted you out with French toast. You're sitting on your couches, chilling out, enjoying your time. How are you guys feeling after Frosh Week? You're feeling good? Well, we've got Patrick coming up with the news segment on the Frosh Week and all the other news from around the U of T campus for you.
University of Toronto professors Eric J. Miller, Richard Florida, Paul Bedford, and Richard Summer have sent an open letter to the Toronto City Council urging them to reject the current proposal for the development of the city portlands, which was rejected earlier this week. They criticized the proposal on the grounds it relied on flawed ideas related to real estate value as well as certain matters regarding the developments already in place. University of Toronto scientists have developed a scaffold using a jello-like substance. Working with stem cells, Professor Molly Soychuk from the Department of Chemical Engineering and Applied Chemistry explains that using this research as a platform, we may soon be able to literally build different tissues and organs in a laboratory setting. This has profound implications for nearly every disease we are currently attempting to cure. As well, patients in need of a new retina will be happy to know that they are available in cherry, raspberry, and grape. U of T archaeologists working in southwestern Turkey have uncovered a 3,000-year-old lion Hittite statue. The lion stands 3 meters in height and 1.6 meters in width. It is in a seated position with claws extended and roaring. It is part of a larger gate complex in the Hittite citadel. This gate would have been used for ceremonial purposes, such as parades displaying the king's regal authority and grandeur. The Hittites themselves are a relatively recent discovery, having only been confirmed to exist as recently as 1907. Thankfully, they use the cuneiform alphabet, the same as their southerly neighbours, allowing for easier comprehension of their written work, yet a vast, undiscovered civilization. At the beginning of the year, U of T held its annual Frosh Week to welcome new students. Some upper years helped to facilitate the process to ensure it was successful. Others looked on in pity of the newcomers, recalling painful memories of public humiliation, having to yell swear words, and having to wear ugly t-shirts in order to eat. However, this Frosh Week had a story which had little to do with putting first years in their place. Innis, St. Michael's, Trinity, University College, and Faculty of Engineers opted out of the Frosh kits usually provided by the University of Toronto Students' Union, better known on campus as the UTSU or UTSU. Woodsworth College provided their own kits as well. However, given the large body of students that college represents, this is commonplace. One reason cited by critics is the politically motivated nature of the information provided alongside the kits. This alienates many incoming students who do not share these beliefs, most notably but not limited to the controversial Israeli Apartheid Week. Danny Chu, co-chair of University College's Orientation Committee, said in a recent interview with Varsity that she intended to create a more unified U of T spirit. Is there a chance for reconciliation, or has the Rubicon been crossed? Alia iacta est. I'm Patrick Lanchel with UTTV News.
Groundbreaking. Riveting stuff there. Next, we have got Rachel for you, and she's got Question of the Week. So enjoy that while I enjoy my hazelnut flavoured coffee.
Hi, I'm Rachel Welsh here with U of T TV's Question of the Week. This week we want to know why you chose U of T, and if you weren't at U of T, where would you be? So now the question of the week is why you chose U of T.
Well, I chose U of T because it's accredited and it's a prestigious school, so it's known around the world.
Well, I chose U of T largely because it was the best university that would give me the type of education that I wanted. I wanted an academic education.
Well, I heard great things about the school when I first moved to Canada, so naturally it was one of my first options.
U of T has a lot of opportunities, and for my program I can do a lot more.
U of T is, I think, a classic institution, you know, from, I know I'm just a non-degree student trying to get into grad school, and, you know, U of T has got the name, right?
I chose U of T because I wanted to be in the city, the big city from Wasaga Beach, so really anywhere was better, but right here was where I wanted to be.
Well, I knew I wanted to study in Toronto, and I applied for York and U of T, and I got accepted at both, but the choice was pretty obvious.
I'm actually an American student, and U of T is actually really inexpensive.
And if you weren't at U of T, where would you be?
It's a good question.
Originally I was thinking maybe going to the University of San Francisco, but it was $48,000 a year.
I guess I'd be at like Guelph.
Probably somewhere on the West Coast.
I might be at Carleton University.
Maybe York, trying to kind of get into U of T.
So if you didn't choose U of T, where would you be?
Is there another option than U of T?
I don't think so. Excellent answer. Thank you very much, Corey.
So guys, that is all we have time for today. I'm gonna get to go inside now and warm up, and you guys do the same. Make sure you stay safe, have a very good week, work very hard for me, and I'll see you next time on U of T TV. I've been Debbie Butts.
You